Hello, college and career success, and welcome to week 11. It is so hard to believe that we are really approaching the end of our semester at this point. We're hopefully starting to see some more spring weather. So let's go ahead and jump in. I bet you thought I was going to remind you of your student success workshop assignment. Well, I am. Make sure you get that completed and turned in because we are quickly approaching the teen weeks, which is when everything really starts to go quickly. Okay, so week 11, if we take a quick snapshot here, this is another very typical week where you have a discussion board due by Wednesday for your weekly attendance and then respond to 2 classmates by Sunday. You have a Chapter 9 assignment and a Chapter 9 quiz. So as always, I'm going to encourage you to spend some time with the material somehow, whether it's through my lecture video, whether it's through the textbook itself or the slides, just so that you are engaging with the material and you have context for understanding for the assignments that you have to complete. All right, so your Chapter 9 discussion board post. Have you ever witnessed incivility in person or an argument in the news? So if you're not sure what incivility is, that is what this chapter talks about. So you might want to go back and revisit the lecture or the slides, whatever it is. So just describe what happened. Again, this could be in person, so you don't necessarily have to talk about it, something with you unless you're comfortable talking about that. So maybe it's something you witnessed between a couple friends or family members, or the news has plenty of these examples. So have you been watching something, whether an actual news station, a sporting event, a celebrity, whatever it might be. Just kind of give us context for what happened. And so I would spend about half of the post on that. So, give or take 75 words, telling us about what happened. So we have a good foundation of what it is about. And then, why do you think individuals are willing to shut down communication over issues they are passionate about? Because sometimes people, instead of engaging, they just kind of ignore. And so why do you think people are willing to do that? Maybe you can even talk about why people are willing to get angry. So you're really just kind of talking about this incivility and how you've witnessed it and why you think people interact and behave the way they do in these circumstances. Okay. So let's go ahead and take a look at our Chapter 9 assignment. This is called the Civility Project. So this is a little interesting one. So you're going to choose 2 examples in the media of incivility. And let me tell you that there are thousands of these, truly. So what I don't want you to do is go to Google and say, give me an example of incivility. Because what I've had students turn in the past is like HR training videos or skits. That's not what this is. You are not trying to find examples of what incivility looks like in terms of like training or that type of thing. You're looking for actual real life examples of it. So that can be a video. It can be social media postings or memes or links or whatever it could be. There could be just an actual post itself. So an example of incivility, not like this is what incivility looks like, but you want to make sure that it's an example of it. And then you're going to find 2 examples. So example 1, example 2. Now, if it's a link, please put the link in. If you can put it there, you can, or just in the comment area. Or if it's a picture, upload the picture with this, just so I have context, so I know what you're talking about. And you're going to answer these questions. What is being depicted? If it's not obvious anyway, you're going to at least tell me like a little bit. Maybe if it's not obvious, give me a little bit more detail. So like what's going on? Who do you think it was for? Like who was the audience for this? Is this just for like the common everyday person? Is this for sports fans? Is this for celebrities? People who are interested in celebrities? Is this the news outlet? So it's the general public, whatever. Who do you think the intended audience was? What do you think the purpose of this example is? Like what's going on in the example? And what do you think the purpose was? Is it to inflict harm, to embarrass, to, raise concerns? What makes it an example of incivility? So is there language? Is there tone? Is there kind of name calling? Like what is it that makes this incivility? What do you think motivated the creator? So whoever posted the meme or the link or the post or the video, whatever it is, why do you think they did it? And what do you think is the result of the example? Do you think that anything was solved? Do you think anything was brought to attention? So you're going to walk through those steps. I'm going to do it for 2 examples. Okay, so again, please make sure that you include whatever it is you're talking about. Because if you just start talking about something and I have no clue what it is, then I'm not going to really have context to grade you as well as I could unless you give me those actual, like, hey, here's the YouTube video link, or here's a screenshot of the post, whatever it might be. All right, and so anytime that you do this, make sure that you save it with your changes and upload it. All right, and then finally, your Chapter 9 quiz. Walk through these questions. If you're in a philosophy class and you're coming up with a set of rules to guide discussions based on this chapter, so I'm not talking about like communication rules or things like that. It is based on this chapter. What 3 rules would you suggest and why? So if you're not sure what that means, go back into this chapter and take a look and come up with 3 rules that you would suggest for classroom discussions and why. Okay. Number 2, they talk about different kinds of identity in this book, or in this chapter rather, personal, role, social, collective. So take a look at those and reflect on when a time of one of those identities was important when you were socially interacting with someone. Maybe it was your personal identity, your social identity. Talk about that. Question 3, what is the purpose of Title IX and why is it important in higher ed? Question 4, what's the difference between equality and equity? There's a whole graphic on this in our chapter, and it really does a nice visual of allowing us to see what the difference is between these 2 concepts. And then if you're in a class and one of your professors did not include the contributions or perspectives of an underrepresented group, and it's like connected to what's going on, what could you do to support the inclusion of that diversity? All right, so real quick recap. You are completing your Chapter 9 discussion post about like witnessing incivility by Wednesday, respond to 2 classmates by Sunday. Complete your Chapter 9 assignment, the civility project, on your 2 media examples of incivility, and then Chapter 9 quiz. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Have a great week.